Zohran Mamdani is now declaring victory in New York City's Democratic mayoral primary. It's a bit of a shocker, at least for some, maybe not in the past 24 hours, but compared to where people were thinking about this just maybe 72 hours ago, it definitely is. Joining us right now, Edward Skyler. He's the former deputy mayor in the Bloomberg administration. He's the head of enterprise services and public affairs at Citi. It's great to see you this morning.
Thank you for having me.
As a New Yorker, I've been watching coverage of the Democratic primary election since the election. Last night, I watched an interview on CNBC where Squawk Box brought on a former deputy mayor under the Bloomberg administration. Most of the interview went just as you might expect, but towards the end, the deputy mayor, Mr. Edward Skyler, who now works for Citibank as head of public affairs, drops some misinformation. Check out the clip and we'll get into it afterwards.
So people have voted with their feet. The other disturbing piece of public data is 55% of New Yorkers say they won't be in New York City in 5 years.
Wow.
So there's a lot of warning signs that the city that's flashing.
Do you talk to other business leaders who say maybe we should get out of here?
Mr. Skyler says that 55% of New Yorkers won't be in New York in 5 years. Usually, I don't get too bothered about people expressing opinions I disagree with, but this didn't pass the smell test for me. A majority of New Yorkers were saying that they might leave the city within 5 years? At first, I did a quick search on Google to help me find the exact statistic he's referencing. Google's AI was really helpful in regurgitating the wrong information. The AI repeated some lies from the New York Post and NDTV. Since Google referenced those organizations specifically, let's take a look at the supporting data real quick before we move on to the actual study. The New York Post says, when asked if they plan to stay in the Big Apple until 2028, only 50% surveyed said yes, down from 58% in 2017, according to the CBC. NDTV references the 50% figure in the headline, but never actually supports it in the article. The survey is called Straight from New Yorkers 2025 and is a survey of residents from across the 5 boroughs of 1,700 responses. Let's skip on down to the section that we're interested in. The section heading says, majority of New Yorkers say they will stay in New York City the next 5 years, but still lower than 2017. Great. So Google, the New York Post, and NDTV got it totally wrong, and in fact, they somehow got the opposite conclusion of what the survey said. What is the real figure? Remember that the former deputy mayor said that 55% of New Yorkers won't be here in 5 years. The actual survey says that 55% of New Yorkers will be staying over the next 5 years. If you look at the table, they say that 19% of respondents say that they plan to leave within 5 years. This is an improvement from 2023, when respondents said that a quarter of them would be leaving within 5 years. Clearly, all those people got it completely wrong. The deputy mayor was parroting misinformation from who knows where. Anyway, back to the clip.
So the 55% of New Yorkers who say they don't think they'll be here in 5 years, how does that compare historically? I know that this is how much higher is that than you would normally see?
It's definitely an increase, but it also goes to people's dissatisfaction where the city is, and the fact that, as I said before, the city just hasn't fully recovered from the pandemic. New York City is a great engine, but every engine needs to be tuned. Every engine needs to be calibrated. And what you've seen the last couple of years is with the mayor unfortunately being distracted by scandals and indictments and other issues, that New York just hasn't lived up to its full potential.
The 55%, do you know the demographics on who those people are? Are they people who say they can't afford to live here anymore? Or are they the people who are really wealthy and tired of getting taxed?
The survey was really across, race, ethnicity, and income gap. I think it just speaks to people being less satisfied than they had been. New York has a lot of momentum going into the pandemic, and we've yet to fully recover from it. Yeah. And it'll be the job of the next mayor to really have New York reclaim, its role as the best-run city, as with the highest quality of life, the lowest crime, and the best economic opportunity for people from every walk of life.
The anchor asks a very reasonable question about who it was that was planning on leaving the city and why. But since Citi's head of public affairs doesn't actually know the statistic he's referencing, he stumbles over his words and guesses that it's because people are unsatisfied. What's the actual reason? The CBC has a nice table for that too. As you can see, the top 3 reasons are affordability, crime and safety, and living space. The survey itself says these results reinforce the importance of New York City's value proposition and ensuring the benefits of living here, cultural and social amenities, and economic opportunity exceed the challenges of high costs, small apartments, and quality of life. Zohran Mamdani's signature appeal in the primary election was a focus on affordability. His campaign website literally says, Zohran Mamdani is running for mayor to lower the cost of living for working-class New Yorkers. Unfortunately, over the next couple of months, we're going to see an uptick in the amount of misinformation being spread about this election, because we know it works. I just hope that New Yorkers question the information they're receiving. Sometimes, people are pushing a message that is based on half-remembered statistics that say the opposite of what you thought. Is CNBC going to issue a correction? I wouldn't count on it. If you like this video, share it with a friend. Feel free to check out my blog, and if you want to see more, follow me on Mastodon or YouTube. Have a great rest of your day.